Hello noble ones and welcome to Metatron's Protectorate. So one of the things that I like doing the most when it comes to vintage stuff and retro stuff is to try and recreate the exact same things that I had, whether it be a computer, whether it be a console, back in the day. Well, today you're in for a treat. And I've got something to show you that's just been delivered. Let's go downstairs. Alright guys, here it is. Welcome to the 90s.
Wow!
Let's see what we got. Woohoo! That's a CRT, a really cool one. I think I see beige.
Careful. Oh, there's a stand.
Let's see.
Oh.
Thank you. Here it is.
Wow. Okay, yeah, let's put it down.
Yeah. And here's what I got. Here it is. And this is the box. And I got excited and I just opened it before, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd imagine you opened it immediately. Oh, this is so cool.
Alright, let's take it upstairs and let's build it. Alright, I've just finished bringing up everything upstairs in my man cave. Luckily the CRT wasn't one of the super heavy ones, so I could do it on my own. Everything has been set up on the side here. So, you ready to go back to the 90s? One of the things that I love about these type of computers is, of course, the color. I love the beige. I just can't help it. I'll probably say this for 15 times on this video. Of course, we are back to the CD-ROM generation, and there is just something with the CRT unbeatable. All right, let's try and turn it on. Turn the speaker on. The monitor. As you see, it's doing a self-test here. Already that looks amazing. I'm a simple man, what can I tell you? Alright, let's turn it on. I love the logo, by the way, with the cows. Windows 98, if that's... Oh yeah, that's insane. I haven't seen that one in a while. You know what's crazy? The sound was vintage. The sound. Anyways, here's a collection of PC games that I prepared. We're gonna test a few. Just to tell you a little bit about my experience, back in the day I did not have a gateway, although, I mean, it looks amazing. I had a different computer, but right now I don't know, some kind of Pentium. It was the inside, but I have no idea what it was. I do remember playing Heroes of Might and Magic in it. I want to say that most likely was some kind of 1995 machine, but I do remember having a 98 too. And an XP. Yeah, it's a little blurry now. But before we do all of that, look at this. Just love the color, and even just creating a simple folder and just seeing how things look when you right click, when you move things around, there is just something about it. Alright, let's get rid of this. We don't even this. Even the trash can is late 90s trash can, I guess. So yeah, programs, the way things look, everything is extremely nostalgic. Anyways, one of the best memories that I have is playing Heroes of Might and Magic 3 with my good friend Giuseppe, who would come over and we would just have dinner together and play. So I'm just gonna run that one now. Goodness gracious, this looks amazing. Oh, you can tell it was built to be projected, the image I mean, on a CRT. Alright, let's, I don't know, let's start a game, I suppose. I'm gonna play Castle, just because they look pretty. And my favorite is Rampart, but hey, once again, Castle is nice. Even this, the loading screen looks incredible. Alright. Okay, let's get into the town. Gorgeous, absolutely. I mean, look at the colors. I mean, this must be a particularly good CRT monitor. I mean, in general, CRTs are great. But this one, there's something with it. Look at that. Yeah, let's get a couple of pikemen. And here in combat, a little later. Shoot the bastards. Alright, I'm gonna try now some Diablo 1, and I put on a little red light for immersion, I suppose. So, yeah, let's see what the Lord of Hell has to say. Alright, he's in a good mood, so am I. Okay, so we're gonna start the game, and I will begin a new game. Look at that contrast between blue and red. Blizzard North. Yep, best menu ever. Alright, I'm gonna create a new character. We're gonna play with the... let's do the rogue. Yeah, it's the rogue. I'll give him my wife's name. There you go. And let's get started. She kind of looks like my wife, actually. What can I tell you? I'm married. The rogue from Diablo. Wouldn't you? Tristram has probably one of the most iconic musics. So I'm gonna shut up now.
Whoa, what can I do for you? Thank goodness you returned. Much.
Okay, never mind. Never mind an Italian shutting up. Did you hear his accent? Thanks goodness you returned.
Good day.
Good day.
How may I serve you?
Good day to you. Alright, let's get to the dungeon. Let me close up a little bit. I mean, even up close, it looks incredible. Alright. Almost looks like a painting. Last but not least, I'm going to test Blade Runner. This is a fantastic game. Kind of high end for this period, considering we're going to move into actual 3D graphics. I'll talk a little more about that in a minute. Okay, I could spend an entire afternoon just listening to that music. Look at this. Man, this still looks good. To this day. Yeah, it's Blade Runner. What a classic. I don't know if you've ever played this. It's a point-and-click adventure where you're kind of detecting around, I suppose, trying to figure out the... whatever crimes that are happening, and it's really interesting. I mean, you could buy it on Good Old Games, by the way, and play it on a modern PC. Let's go to the rooftop. That's where your car is parked, because you have a flying car. Isn't it interesting when you play something that is supposed to be the future from the point of view of the 90s? So it looks vintage, even though it's a future. Look at the ambience. Even these cutscenes, I could rewatch these 50 times in a row, which you do when you play these games. Never bothers me. Now, of course, with today's computer, we are mostly working with CD-ROMs, and that's another thing that is mostly gone as we progressively go away from physical media. But as someone who enjoys collecting physical media, I have to say that the very experience of holding a product that you purchase, like I bought it, it's mine, the very heft of it, the idea that, you know, the CD-ROM actually fits the size of these cases. Am I right, Nintendo Switch? It's not a code, it's not digital nonsense. This is the product. I bought it, I have it, I kept it in good conditions, and it still works. That's what I'm talking about. Not to mention, are we going to talk about the quality of the actual boxes this stuff came in sometimes? Like, look at this. I mean, Metatron, you just complained about Nintendo making something that was too big. I know, but there is a literal book in here. There is a book. It's like, so there is a reason why this is this size. Okay, look at this. Another thing that they should totally bring back. Are you joking? Like, what am I supposed to read when I am in the ride home or in the restroom or whatever the heck you do? Right? You buy the game, you can't play it just yet. Perfect. Read the manual. It was excellent. Look at this box. And in general, I mean, look at the quality of Baldur's Gate. It's one of the best boxes out there. I mean, look at the conditions of this. You know, this is stuff that was built to last, by the way. It's not just that I am a particularly good collector, I guess, when it comes to preservation of old school stuff, but it's just also the fact that old school stuff was built to last. In fact, these computers still work perfectly, and this is a gorgeous thing to own. Never mind digital nonsense, once again. I'm going to complain about that for the entirety of the video. You do know that, right? And then this is another wonderful game that I was so looking forward. And I'm happy that this machine actually plays it. Because at first I was like, well, this is 3D, although a lot of it is pre-rendered graphics, a bit like similar to the tricks that they were using with the PlayStation 1. But regardless, a lot of it's still a 3D game. But it works because, as I say, it's a 1999 machine to be specific, even though it's running Windows 98. And it's a pretty high-end one. It's a Pentium 3 for the time, so it can run this without any slowdown. So a lot of the games that are in 2D instead, a lot of which are from 95, this is a piece of cake for this computer. Maybe one day I will build an actual 95 machine. But for now, I'm enjoying playing both these, which is kind of the high end of what computers could offer in the 90s. Fantastic point and click, by the way. And also the old school games like the Prince of Persia and the like that are, of course, considered, they would already be retro gaming for this machine a little bit, kind of previous generation, if you will. But still, it's enjoyable to do that because the computer still looks the same. At the end of the day, whether it be early 90s or late 90s, exception being some outliers, computers had a certain look. We've already gone away from the pizza box form factor of the 80s, early 80s. That's something that kind of happened already with Commodore. And then, but in the 90s, we still have the beige, we still have the CRT, we've got higher resolution, we've got higher specs, but they are still quite similar. The only thing that I would take an 80s computer over a 90s computer, apart from the monochrome green phosphorus, it is gorgeous. I do have one IBM. I'll make a dedicated video, so do remember to subscribe. But the only thing I was saying is the sound of the mechanical keyboards of the early 80s. That is music to my ear, and hopefully I'll be able to share that with you, kind of setting up the microphone in a way that you can hear it. Just to give you a little bit of the history of Gateway, the company was founded in 1985 by Ted Waitt and Mike Hammond in Sioux City, Iowa, starting as a direct-to-consumer computer company that became famous for its distinctive cow-spotted packaging boxes. Gateway began by assembling and selling PCs directly to customers, bypassing traditional retail channels. This direct sales model allowed them to offer competitive prices while building custom systems. Their headquarters was famously located in rural South Dakota, which became part of their wholesome, down-to-earth brand identity. As we reached the 1990s, Gateway's most memorable branding featured black and white Holstein cow spots on their shipping boxes, marketing materials, and even their retail stores. This agricultural imagery reinforced their Midwest roots and helped them stand out in a crowded computer market. They positioned themselves as a friendly, accessible alternative to more corporate competitors. Throughout the 1990s, Gateway grew rapidly during the PC boom. They went public in 1993 and expanded internationally. The company also ventured into retail with Gateway country stores designed to look like farmhouses, complete with cow-spotted decor. As we reached the early 2000s, as the PC market matured and competition intensified, Gateway struggled. They faced pressure from Dell's more efficient direct sales model and from major retailers selling cheaper systems. The company went through several restructurings, leadership changes, and attempts to diversify into consumer electronics. This is when we reached 2007 and the acquisition by Acer. Gateway was ultimately acquired by Taiwanese computer manufacturer Acer in 2007 for $710 million. Under Acer's ownership, Gateway became primarily a budget brand focused on entry-level consumers, though it lost much of its original character and market presence. Gateway's legacy lies in helping popularize direct-to-consumer PC sales and creating one of the most memorable computer brands of the 1990s. One of the things I love the most about this generation of computers is the color. And of course, we find the same all the way back in the 80s too, not just throughout the 90s, but beige. Beige. I think beige is the ultimate color for computers and technology. We should have never gone away from it. I mean, I understand that most likely one of the reasons was because it was matching not only the taste of the period, but also it needed to kind of merge with Office Space. And I am going to make a full-on documentary on the color beige and why it was so popular in the 80s and 90s. With that being said, I don't know what it is with all the modern computers. Yeah, they're nice, but I think we're getting too exaggerated when it comes to the LED. Like everything flashes like you're in a freaking disco. There is just something about the clean look of a beige computer. As far as I'm concerned, that was peak technology. Peak. So was the music, 80s and 90s. Alright, noble ones, I hope that you enjoyed this special episode, and if you liked it, I will make one dedicated to my Amiga 500, to my Commodore 64, to my IBM 5150, and the rest of the computers. I've got a VIC-20 in there. More than happy to make a dedicated video like I did for this one to showcase the computer, the conditions, how it works, kind of taking you down memory lane. And at the same time, if you saw any of the games that I showcased today very briefly, and you want me to make a dedicated retrospective review, nostalgic analysis, if you will, talking about the pros and cons, why I loved certain games and why I still collect them. If there is any of the games that you saw on that table, let me know in the comments and I'll make a dedicated episode. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye. See you.